Good morning, everyone. I hope this finds you well and living your best life in Jesus Christ. Well, here it is, New Year's Eve, the last day of 2020. And as I prepare to close out the year, here are a few final thoughts that I need to take with me on my journey forward. I hope that you can also find a few things here that you might like to remember as we journey into our new year. First, I need to remind myself that time has only one direction, and that's forward. You can't get anything back from yesterday. I think it's important that we appreciate today while we have it, and frankly, what we have in it. This should teach us a great deal about time, putting off a conversation until later, or praying for someone, or playing that game with a friend, watching your children or grandchildren play, or even possibly joining in. These are all choices we make about what matters right now in the moment we have. And frankly, I have learned to my despair that when that opportunity is gone, it's gone. I can't get time back, and I frankly should not assume that I have tomorrow. The second thing is kind of related to the first in that no one is guaranteed tomorrow, and yet, as much as I try to understand that, I guess I just don't get it. I mean, I'll be honest, I still live my life like I'll always have a future on this planet. I think about next week, next month, and next year like they're guaranteed dates on my calendar. It reminds me that Nan would always quote Psalm 118:24. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And then, if he had time, he'd follow it up with Matthew 6:34. Do not worry about tomorrow, for sufficient is the day for its trouble. I always mess that one up. James, of course, tells us in James 4:3, do not say tomorrow we will do this, because you never know. I think God's trying to teach me something now that one day will be an irrefutable fact, and that was that we were made to live forever, but the fall in the garden really messed all that up. I think we were designed for forever. And even though life is temporary here, I am assured of life eternal through Christ. I need to always remember that so I can face any future without fear and worry, no matter what tomorrow brings. I think that's taking the long view that we were intended to have. And third, I need to remember personally to slow down. Redeeming today, which is what we're trying to do, requires a pace of life that we're all unfamiliar with, or especially me. And it's not a faster one, but a slower one, a more methodical one. I'm convinced that we're just, as a race, too busy, and if taken to extremes, it can damage our spiritual life and our relationship with Christ, as well as others. I mean, there are just too many options to stay busy. And one of the things COVID has taught us is that we have learned this pace of life is unhealthy, and it devalues the things that really matter most. Every so often, I'll look at myself in the mirror and I hear the words of Jesus to Martha in Luke 10:41. You are worried and troubled about many things. I need to choose the things that cannot be taken from us, and those things that require a slower pace and more time than they generally get, like prayer, or waiting on the Lord, or conversations with loved ones, stopping to share the gospel with someone, reflecting on the goodness of God. How about just taking a deep breath and enjoying the moment of grace when it's given? And there's all kinds of those kind of things. Finally, I need to remind myself that life is short and there are many ways to squander it, but there's only one way to really redeem it. Love Jesus with your whole heart and your whole life, and love him above all else. It really is, if you look at it, a straight and narrow path, and the road that leads to destruction is broad, and many go down it. Yet, the truth is that it's not as difficult to find that straight and narrow path as it is to maintain our walk on it. By the grace of God, we're shown the narrow path, but the nature of temptation can lead us away from it. If I can learn nothing else from this 2020 that's gone in the past, I want to learn this ultimate lesson. For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. So for our next year, every day, let us reclaim the time by embracing Christ in all we do and say. If we do, we'll always be prepared for whatever happens. In the Latin, Carpe Christi, seize the Christ. I hope you make today a fantastic day. I want you to know that I'm here if you need me, and I love you all.